He, him.
She, her.
She, her.
He, him.
She, her.
He and him.
He and him.
He, him.
She, her.
He, him, his.
He/him.
She, her.
She, her, and they, them. They're not my preferred pronouns. They're just my pronouns.
Only when I feel safe enough to do it. Because not in every job I felt safe to do it right away. In some workplaces, it took me a while to do that.
You know, if I want to have real conversations with my colleagues, obviously I have to address, you know, that. It's just to share that I'm in a relationship with a woman.
These people are my friends, and I really like working with them. So at some point, eventually, I started bringing my queerness into the conversation.
I didn't have to out myself. I think part of it because I look feminine, so people just presume that I'm married to a man with 2 kids, happy life, everything is great. But in the interview, when they ask me if I have children, I say yes, I have one, and I do say that she has another mother.
I never felt the need to out myself or address it because I feel like it's pretty obvious. Once I say my pronouns are she and her, it immediately conflicts for people and they either understand or ask, but I'm not outing myself. I'm just like, this is me.
Back when I was in college, during my first internship interviews, I remember I felt some prejudice from the companies, and therefore I would try to be very discreet about how I would address that. But at some point that changed, and nowadays I prefer to be very direct about it.
I want people to understand the authentic Sean and understand, who they're really getting when they work with them. Being proud LGBTQIA+ is just a big part of who I am. It's part of who I'm outside of work. So I wanted to make sure that this was an inclusive group for me.
I think it does, in different levels.
There's always some situations, some microaggressions that may happen.
Yes, and that there are some slips where people are like, that's so gay.
Sometimes it just comes out from a place of ignorance, I guess.
It's not always blatant, and it's not always out there, and sometimes people don't understand that what they're saying is they're showing their bias.
And it's okay to ask questions, but sometimes it can cross a line.
Someone can express their views in a homophobic joke, for example.
In my previous workplace, there's a good example. In the first week of work, some security person didn't let me go into the train station, and it was the first week of work, and I was sure I'm getting fired for it. So it was very traumatic for me, because I thought, like, why would they want to hire someone like me that cannot even go into the train station?
I feel like a lot of the times here in Israel, there's not like a really plain sight homophobia, but more like under the ground homophobia.
It's really hard for the community, within our community of LGBTQ+, and also within a workplace and within your family, to really understand what bisexuality means. And you constantly have to explain, but even you don't really fully understand. You just know what you like, what you love.
Are you married or do you have a girlfriend?
The question, do you have a girlfriend, comes time and time again.
Having to out myself over and over is something that it's tiring.
Hi guys, and I'm like, no, you know.
Why is there even a LGBT group in the company? We are not this kind of company. And I'm like, why do you care?
And also when people put us in boxes, like, I don't know, if you're gay, you are stylish. If you're gay, you're fun and stuff like this.
There are difficulties, right? There are some challenges that you would want to share with another person. And it's just so beautiful to be able to do that in a pride community.
Because of the sense of belonging that it gives me.
Because I feel seen.
It makes you feel safe. I think that is one of the biggest things for me specifically.
And this is the most important thing, to feel safe, at least at some place.
You need to have a place where you can feel protected and that you're not alone
And I didn't grow up with trans people, and people didn't know what my problem is. And I feel like having this language, this seamless, obvious language that you don't have to explain yourself is very important.
I think us being strong in ourselves, in our own identity, is one of the most powerful things that you can do to show other people that whoever you are, you can love who you are, and that is the most inspiring thing for anyone.
Especially now where, to a certain degree, the community itself is under attack, right? And it's beautiful that we are being called or we're being compelled at this moment in time to unite together.
By being as inclusive as we are now, it opens the door for those people to come in and make a difference.
There should never be a thought of whether I'm going to be safe if I'm going to be myself. Imagine a world where they just become themselves without any borders, without any barriers to that.
I think there's a lot they can do, from education to putting their hands on projects, volunteering, supporting.
And make room, simply make room.
So I talked about how I was rejected from coming into a train station just because of how I look. And the thing that bothered me the most is not the security guard, but everyone that didn't care. They just saw it and no one cared. Like everyone just wanted me to get out of the way, outside the station, and let them go to work. So don't be that person.
They need to be out there helping with us, fight for these movements with the hundreds of bills that are out right now in the US against transgender community.
Be aware that you're not that aware. Like sometimes that words matter, and that jokes could be super impactful on someone that is going through something.
Please also know to our allies that whatever kind of support they give us, they don't go unacknowledged. We cherish them deeply, and I hope they know that they're actually changing people's lives.
I just don't have time to not be myself, and I'm here to be unapologetically who I am.
Love is amazing, and love is love. Love is love, for sure.